way to the Paddington Tavern. Who would have thought? Well, one of the interesting things about coming to Australia, as I did about 10 years ago, is learning to use all the words that Australians use. And you know, there's some good ones. You know, we talk about sunnies and tinnies and runners and swimmers. And then we like to take long words and shorten them and add an O at the end. And we talk about the ambo and the garbo and the botlo, the paddo. And so you want to put them all together into a single sentence and say something like, you know, the sabo, the garbo went down to the botlo at the tavern to get some vino that you can have during smoker. And you know later on he's going to need the ambos. A few other interesting things, of course, about living in Australia. I remember my very first day at work here, got to the end of the day and started to head out. And everybody in the office said, yeah mate, see you later. Jeez, I thought, shit, they're going to come home? What kind of firm am I working for? Oh, and then another thing, you know, when I hear people talking about thongs, you know, to me a thong is it's a piece of underwear, you know, silk, maybe leather with some little sort of studs going down, maybe a zip or something. And when I came here, I was so happy because I found there were pubs where thongs weren't allowed, and I knew that I had my dream job. I was going to stand at the door to check to see who was coming in with a thong. Oh, and another one. You know, when I cheer for my sports team, I say, I'm going to root for you. And of course, you know, I came here and tried to get a few dates. I kept saying to girls, hey, you want to come home with me on Saturday? We'll go root for the Broncos. And they kept knocking me back. Of course, I should have realised it would have been better off if they were real Broncos supporters if I had a mobile phone with a camera. But did anybody watch Flood TV and Cyclone TV? You know, Anna and the Cop Show, and so Earthquake TV as well. It was pretty dramatic, but what was really interesting was watching those hand signal guys standing at the back. In fact, it was more interesting than watching anything else. And you had to try and interpret what they were saying. And some of it was pretty easy. They'd say, oh, there's a big flood coming down, and you know, everybody needs to go to higher ground. And every now and again they get a bit irritated, and you hear them thinking, yeah, I can't translate that. Oh, fuck, she's onto this again. Sorry, actually, that's really rude. That doesn't mean that at all. That means it gives me great pleasure. Of course, the way we use words is always interesting, and you know, like Eskimos, apparently they got 42,000 words for different kinds of snow. And I think it's time we invented some words specifically to describe concepts that we need to understand. And you know, some of the words that I think we need to introduce will be things like foreploy. Foreploy is a misrepresentation or an exaggeration you make about yourself that you use for the purposes of getting laid. You know, for instance, yeah, I wear these thick glasses, but my day job's actually flying F-111s to the moon. Another word that we might use would be osmosis. Osmosis is that amazing characteristic that some people seem to have where they can get ahead by sucking up to the boss rather than actually having talent. And how about mouse potato? A mouse potato, of course, is the online version of a couch potato. And an Australian kiss. Australian kiss is like a French kiss, but it's given down under. But what about Titanic? Titanic, everybody thinks Titanic, oh, something really big. No, it's not. Titanic, somebody who goes down first time out. And blamestorming. Blamestorming is, you know, after something has gone wrong, and you're all sitting in a group working out who's going to get the blame for it. Another word is greyhound. Greyhound is a really short skirt, it's about an inch from the hair. How about muffler? A muffler is pair of tight jeans or a pair of tight shorts, or those tights the girls wear in the gym. You can see the lips, but you can't see what they're saying. And yeah, of course, I'm really a numbers person, and numbers are much easier for me to understand than words are for me. So, for instance, I always like to give, at work every week, I like to give 100%. So, you know, it's normally about 18% on Mondays and maybe 22 on Tuesdays, lifted up to 25 on Wednesdays. And you know, of course, that if somebody's really pissing you off, it takes 42 muscles to frown. But you know what? It only takes 4 to raise a finger. Now, if you look at me, you know I've been around a bit, and when you've been around a bit, you tend to learn quite a lot. You learn quite a lot about life and what goes on in life. You know, for instance, I can tell you that no matter how tolerant you are, there are always some people who are just arseholes. I can also tell you that the people you expect to kick you when you're down are usually the ones that will. I can tell you also that no matter how hot and steamy and passionate a relationship is, that passion will fade, and when it does, there needs to be a lot of money to take its place. Now, that sounds a little bit bitter and twisted, and I can tell you I'm not really. But you know, I think it'll be a really useful thing if we introduce some sort of basic concepts. It'll be almost like you know, the Mars and Venus thing for dummies. So just some sort of things about how men and women need to deal with their relationships. And you know, the first thing I want to say is, okay, if you think you're fat, it means you are. Don't ask, just get your ass down to the gym. Learn to move the toilet seat. If it's up, just put it down. It's quite simple. Anything you wear is fine, really. Sometimes we're not thinking about you. It's okay. A headache that lasts for more than 5 months is a problem, and you should see a doctor. Anything that was said more than 2 months ago is no longer admissible in any subsequent argument. If anything was said that could be interpreted in 2 ways, and one of those ways makes you sad, angry, upset, disappointed, weepy, we meant the other one. And of course you need to understand that those really good looking guys that you see on glossy magazines, they're all gay. And you need to understand also that if I'm in bed and I'm looking tired, it means I am. It doesn't mean we need to be discussing the relationship. And you need to understand also that it's not the dress that makes you look fat, it's the fucking chocolate. So, I need to also remind you that there are 4 main food groups as far as men are concerned. They are white meat, red meat, hot chips, cold beer. You need to make sure that all meals contain satisfactory quantities of each. Anything else is garnish. So, thank you very much. It's been fun up here. I have to say, good audience, and I've enjoyed it. And in the normal colloquial Australian expression, I'll see you later.